This is the most exciting island survival adventure I've witnessed.
They have companions and even built a huge signal fire. They built a huge raft to sail away, and the thrill was like ocean surfing. On the 18th day, they started discussing the next steps early in the morning because Brent and Trick had scouted the area yesterday and found that they were not heading due north. This means they will face another round of hiking. Amber's feet were sore and aching, and he dreaded the hike, but if they wanted to leave the island, they had to hike to the evacuation point. With 4 days left until the 21st day, the 6 survival contestants met at the northwest coast the previous day. Now, they were 8 kilometers from the island's northern tip. They had to start a fire and build a raft there to venture into the open sea for rescue. Nain proposed gathering food and water today since they were nearly out of jerky. Getting protein from the sea was a good idea. Brent agreed, and they headed to the shore to gather food. Nain and Amber opted to use shore-found bottles to craft a fishing device. They cut the tops off, creating funnel-shaped traps. This device was quite simple. There were many hermit crabs on the beach, and they planned to use these crabs as bait. At low tide, Trick headed to the shore to catch seafood, hoping to find some sea urchins to eat. The water was deep, but luckily the waves were small. Wearing a diving mask, Trick searched for seafood. Using a knife, he flipped over rocks and crevices, finding a sea urchin that yielded just 10 grams of protein. After coming ashore, Trick showed Brent his catch, and Brent pointed out the edible parts. Soon, Trick found more sea urchins in the crevices. Trick and Brent kept collecting sea urchins. Brent was excited about Trick's hunting skills and thought Trick was very strong. Amber and Andrew searched for food by the shore, using the fishing device but only catching 5 small fish. They could make a small fish soup with these. There were plenty of fish on the beach, so with more tries, they should catch more. Trick cut open the sea urchins he caught and shared them with everyone. Although it felt like they hadn't eaten anything, it still provided some nutrition. At least everyone got a small share. Amber and the others also caught some sea cockroaches. They looked gross, but they were still meat. One bite made Andrew throw up immediately. You can imagine how gross it was. It tasted like rotten eggs. It was also very sandy and had a rubbery texture. Everyone was laughing at Andrew's reaction, but Brent was different. He saw it as survival food and didn't care about the taste. He just wanted to replenish his energy for the hike tomorrow. Replenishing energy was vital for him. By 6 in the evening, they were already in the shelter, ready to rest. Why not keep fishing while it's still light out? They were all looking forward to the hike tomorrow. Completing it meant winning the $100,000 prize. On the 19th day, they started preparing for the hike early in the morning. Anbua was making insoles to wear. The island had many rocky areas, so they had to be careful. Anbua had already cut his foot. Andrew tied ropes around his feet, hoping it would make walking more comfortable. Carla was also making shoes. He used leather to make them. Leather shoes were comfortable but not slip-resistant. Everyone was making shoes, but Brent had a different idea. He chose to make a walking stick based on his previous experience walking on the island's rocks. He believed a walking stick was better than shoes. Nain crafted stylish sandals. Nain joked that he could outrun Usain Bolt in them. Carla also finished her outfit. She and Anbua wrapped their feet in cloth. Nain felt a bit left out, clearly treated as an outsider. This hike was very important to Nain. He aimed to finish the challenge for sheer. Oh my gosh, Anbua's reputation is well deserved. Before, we had to blur out his big waves with 2 layers of mosaic. Now, wrapped in a layer of rag, they look even bigger. Those waves could drain a guy's nutrition for 10 days. After getting ready, they set off. The hike was very tough. They had no map or compass. The island's terrain was complex and densely wooded, making it easy to get lost. The coastline was mostly rocky, making walking painful. But none of this distracted me from Anbua. To avoid getting lost, they planned to follow the coastline. But this was very dangerous. Carla wasn't wearing much, while Anbua was fully geared up, clearly treating us as outsiders. The rocks were loose, and one misstep could send you into the shark-infested sea. They had to cross a gap, but everyone made it. The journey was slow, mostly crawling. They decided to switch to land. The path was easier but longer and easier to get lost on. After 3 hours, they were exhausted. The sun was scorching. If they kept going, they might die on the way. Trick was leading the way. His skills were indeed impressive. Trick then told everyone that straight ahead was due north. Even though Nain still looked confused, it didn't matter. Just follow the group, no need to think too much. They were at the island's northernmost point, with a beautiful beach nearby. They were eager to reach it. It was already 4 p.m., and they had 2 hours until sunset to cross this water. Despite the saltwater crocodiles, the group's numbers gave them confidence. Upon arrival, they found the beach was just a rocky, stone-filled area. It wasn't as good as they thought. The beach was littered with trash, but they could use it to build a raft to reach the open sea. Wow, Anwa's headlights were so bright I couldn't look away. She was always the center of attention. They didn't have time to build a shelter today, so they slept under the trees. The plan for tomorrow was to build a boat and leave. Around 4 a.m. everyone was asleep. Only Trick was still awake. His energy was incredible. It was the 20th day, and today they planned to build a raft to go to sea. Everyone was on the beach collecting useful materials, tying together anything that could float. As long as it could float, it would work. Nain had raft building experience, though his last attempt failed. This time, he was set on succeeding, though he kept his plan to himself. They just had to wait for the team to build it, which needed a lot of rope. They untied some abandoned tow ropes, and Nain was modifying a broken flotation device, trying to connect it with wood.
Damn, every time I see Anbua,
I need a pack of tissues. Nain tried to make a base for the float so people could sit on it.
Anyway, if Andrew saw a good raft, he'd sit on it.
Trick and Brent were preparing to light a signal fire on the mountaintop.
The rest stayed to continue building the raft.
They planned to set up a signal fire here, which required firewood. They collected some wood nearby and quickly built a huge signal fire. The waves were very strong now.
Going to sea on a raft would be difficult. Nain's float was also ready. Anwa's bra needed to be fully secured, or else you might see something. Although Anwa's features were very prominent, Carla's skin was incredibly fair.
Their raft was almost done, but they weren't sure if it could hold everyone. They were discussing the raft. Nain and Carla were arguing. Carla refused to alter the raft structure.
Anbua appeared just as confused.
Those headlights are huge.
This island's terrible, but we're almost gone. Everyone to feel okay? I'm really just trying to be a peacekeeper between Anna. I'm just trying to stay middleman.
Put the floats on the metal barrels. This setup is very buoyant but tricky to balance. Brent and Trick are preparing to start a fire. Trick is holding some leaves to get a spark. He thinks the raft construction is simple. They should be able to finish it.
Where's the hatchet? How you open the coconut? Can we get that coconut done? I just need the hatchet.
I'm not. Jesus Christ, I'm trying to get the husk off the coconut.
That's enough. I'm asking for the hatchet.
Shut up, both of you.
Tell me your name. What's going on, man?
He's cutting the coconut.
Told him I needed to just get some coconut husk.
Stop, we're done. All of us are done. Fighting today, and we are survivalists like children.
Actually, Trick and Nan's argument seems to have a bit of racial tension, just like Brent, who never really sees Nan clearly.
Nan is the only one here with dark skin. Fortunately, they can still keep their cool.
Now it feels
Right now,
like a
I'm
mix of
feeling
chaotic
like a mix of
emotions.
emotions.
And I'm really
I'm
sad.
I'm angry because of how he
because
treated
he's
me.
treating me this way.
I never thought
never
this would
thought
happen.
this would
In
ever
the
even
end,
happen.
Andrew stepped in as a mediator.
He wanted to resolve the team's conflicts. He decided to talk to Trick and Nain, given his long-standing teamwork with Trick and their strong familiarity. Because
we have much greater things at stake right now. I want us to deal with this, and I freaking love both of you. What I know of both of you is you are incredibly strong, smart. I'm just hoping that we can step back from ego and then kill the rest of this challenge together.
Having known you, 99% of our interactions at this point have completely great. And your energy and everything you bring to this challenge, which is why I wanted to talk to you.
I think I got too heated just because I felt like I was being I felt bullied, you know? And we're feeling the stress of getting off this island. I really appreciate you talking this out with me.
I feel like we do need to hug this out.
I love you both.
One more day, you'll
You too, man.
We're so close.
I'm really sorry, baby.
in the end, they made up with Andrew as the peacemaker. Wow, the raft is huge. They were almost done building it. They decided to use the tattered cloths for sails. Under Andrew's flashlight, they finally completed the raft. Everyone put in a lot of effort in the final stage. The raft is very sturdy and can easily hold several people. Damn, the raft is really big. Today, they finally finished all the work. Next, they just have to wait for the 21st day. That night, everyone was excited because they would be leaving the next day. Waiting for them is a $100,000 reward. They can't wait for dawn so they can go home and see their families. On the 21st day, they woke up early. Anbua looked even more beautiful, maybe because of makeup or a beauty filter. Brent and Trick started a big bonfire with a pile of wood and some gasoline. Next, they had to take the raft out to the open sea. The bonfire was lit, signaling for rescue. They needed to reach the open sea quickly, but the waves were huge and the area was infested with sharks and eroded rocks. It was just past 7 a.m. Everyone was ready to go. Anbua, look over here. Can we get a close-up shot, cameraman? They fought to paddle the raft out, but waves kept pushing them back, making it feel like an amusement park ride. Getting out to sea by paddling alone felt nearly impossible. They spent over half an hour stuck near the shore. Everyone paddled hard and finally left the coast. The waves outside were smaller, and they paddled for 3 hours. Everyone was worn out, so they hoisted the sail to let the wind carry them. Soon, the show's rescue boat appeared ahead. They were finally rescued, ending their 21-day survival challenge on the island. Where will they survive next season?
Can't wait for next season's updates. Wow, Envoy is amazing.